Mother of all trade deals, India-EU FTA is set to be inked. This will be India's 19th FTA, from technology to textiles. Why is this trade deal important?
Well, India is moving quickly on the global trade map, and the spotlight is now on Europe. With talks with the United States dragging on, India has signed a major free trade agreement with the European Union, a deal being called by Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal as the mother of all trade deals. Let's take a closer look at this deal and everything that comes along with it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Xplained, brought to you by NewsX. My name is Vineet Malhotra, and let me take you through the ins and outs of this agreement. Well, this agreement, still in its final stages, but now formally concluded, is not just about tariffs or exports. It is about India securing access to one of the largest consumer markets in the world, with over 450 million people and a combined GDP exceeding $18 trillion. The deal covers goods, services, and investment and is seen as a game changer for Indian industry, from manufacturing to IT and pharmaceuticals. Well, for India, it is a part of a broader strategy to diversify trade partners, boost exports, and reduce reliance on any single market, while sending a strong message globally about India's economic clout and strategic autonomy. In short, this is India betting big on Europe at a moment when global supply chains are being reconfigured and when the US trade discussions are moving at a slower pace. The India-EU Free Trade Agreement is much more than a headline. It's a potential game changer for the Indian economy. Currently, the European Union is India's largest trading partner, accounting for over 125 billion euros in annual trade. India exports goods ranging from pharmaceuticals and textiles to IT services, while importing high-tech machinery, chemicals, and luxury goods. By cutting tariffs and opening services and investment channels, the deal promises to boost Indian exports, create new jobs in manufacturing and services, and make Indian products more competitive in European markets. It is also about strategic diversification. With global supply chains under pressure and US trade talks dragging, India is ensuring it does not depend too heavily on any single market. The deal is a statement. India is ready to play on the global stage, leveraging its size, talent, and manufacturing capacity to become a trusted trade partner for Europe. So what exactly is in this for India and EU, the free trade agreement? What does it talk about? Let's break it down. Well, first, the goods. The trade. The deal significantly reduces tariffs on Indian exports such as pharmaceuticals, textiles, leather goods, and engineering products, making them more competitive in European markets. Conversely, it also opens up European machinery, chemicals, and high-tech goods to Indian consumers and industry. Second, services and investment. India's IT, consulting, and financial services sectors will gain easier access to the European market. While the deal encourages foreign direct investment into Indian industries, this can help scale up manufacturing, boost technology transfer, and create employment. Third, digital trade and standards. The agreement includes provisions for data flow, e-commerce, and intellectual property, ensuring Indian companies can compete fairly while meeting EU regulations. Finally, sustainable and compliance. The deal emphasizes environmental standards, labor rights, and regulatory alignment, reflecting Europe's insistence on ethical trade practices. In short, the pillars of this agreement aim to open markets, attract investment, and align Indian industries with global standards, creating opportunities across multiple sectors. No trade deal is perfect, and the India-EU Free Trade Agreement is no exception. Certain sensitive sectors remain protected. India has kept tariffs on agricultural products, some dairy items, and sugar, ensuring domestic farmers and small producers are not exposed to sudden competition. Similarly, Europe has limited concessions on high-end manufactured goods and certain chemicals, balancing domestic interests. Other contentious areas include data privacy, intellectual property rights, and regulatory standards, where alignment is ongoing but carefully negotiated to protect Indian businesses from onerous compliance costs. In essence, the deal opens doors while respecting red lines on both sides. aiming for mutual benefit without overexposing vulnerable sectors. The India-EU trade deal is set to create real impact on both business and consumers. For industries, sectors like pharmaceuticals, textiles, leather, IT, and engineering goods stand to benefit from reduced tariffs and easier market access, boosting exports and competitiveness. MSMEs, which often face higher costs and compliance barriers, could now scale up and enter European markets more efficiently. For consumers, the deal may bring better quality products at lower prices, particularly in sectors where tariffs are being reduced. At the same time, increased competition could drive innovation and efficiency in domestic manufacturing. Economists see the deal as a job-creating engine, with growth expected in manufacturing, services, and technology-driven industries, a step towards strengthening India's position as a global trade hub. In short, this is not just a diplomatic agreement, it's a practical boost for India's economy, industries, and everyday consumers. To understand the significance of this deal, let's look at the numbers. The European Union is India's largest trading partner, with the total trade exceeding 125 billion euros annually. India exports mainly pharmaceuticals, textiles, engineering goods, and IT services, while importing machinery, chemicals, automobiles, and high-end technology from Europe. Among EU countries, Germany, France, the Netherlands, and Italy are India's top partners, accounting for the majority of bilateral trade. This deal aims to streamline tariffs, reduce barriers, and make trade flows more predictable, giving Indian exporters a stronger foothold while also opening up new opportunities for European investment in India. In short, the FTA is not just a promise, it builds on an already significant trade relationship and could take India-EU commerce to a whole new level. The India-EU trade deal is part of a broader strategy. It's not India's first FTA, nor will it be its last. Over the past decade, India has signed multiple agreements, including deals with ASEAN countries, South Korea, Japan, Australia, and the UAE. These agreements have focused on boosting exports, improving market access, and integrating India into global supply chains. What sets the EU deal apart is its scale and strategic importance. Europe represents a high-value market, and aligning with EU standards can also help Indian exporters in other global markets. This push reflects a shift from defensive trade policies to proactive engagement, as India positions itself as a trusted partner for global trade, capable of handling complex agreements and protecting domestic interests. In short, the India-EU FTA is a milestone in a larger playbook, strengthening India's hand on the global economic stage. While India moves ahead with Europe, trade talks with the United States have been slower and more complex. Several issues have caused delays, including tariffs on steel and aluminium, digital services taxation, and agricultural market access. Negotiations are ongoing, but there is no finalized agreement yet, leaving India to seek alternatives to expand global trade. In contrast, the EU deal progressed faster due to mutual interests, clearer alignment and standards, and a willingness to compromise on sensitive sectors. For India, the message is quite clear. Diversifying trade partnerships matters. While the US remains a key economic partner, securing access to the European market ensures India does not wait on a single route for growth and global integration. This FTA is not just economic, it's a strategic signal to the world that India can navigate complex negotiations and secure high-value trade opportunities independently. The India-EU Free Trade Agreement marks a major milestone in India's global trade strategy. By opening European markets, boosting exports, and attracting investment, it reinforces India's role as a key player in the global economy. As India continues to sign FTAs and diversify partnerships, this deal sends a clear message. India is not just a participant in global trade, it is shaping its own path.
Mother of all trade deals, India-EU FTA is set to be inked. This will be India's 19th FTA. From technology to textiles. Why is this trade deal important?